we're going to talk about teres minor, and I had a special request for this muscle. I'm not really surprised. A lot of people are having problems with the rotator cuff. I find it to be extremely common for people in the acro yoga community, in addition to people who use their arms with their work. So plumbers, electricians, guys who hang sheetrock, painters, things like that, where they're using part of their rotator cuff, which the teres minor is one of. The teres minor attaches on the posterior portion of the humerus and then goes to the shoulder blade. The motion that it allows is this external rotation, and it also helps stabilize the humerus in the shoulder joint. It's a very small muscle, again, that connects on the humerus and goes onto the shoulder blade. It's right in this junction, and it's a little more challenging to get to. The first video of the series, we're going to show you how to do a compression. This is my absolute best and most favorite way to address this area. And I'm going to have Josh bring his arm down and out. It's going to create this little junction right here that I can start to get into this area. I'm just feeling my way around. He's got his arm down by his side so that it's comfortable. And for me, what I'm going to do is use my knee. Most massage therapists would come in and use a forearm or an elbow. That's a totally adequate way of working on this, but it's going to be much more broad because it's my knee. And to give him a little bit of cushion, what I'm going to do is take a towel. I'm going to put a towel over the area, which makes it more difficult for you to see exactly what I'm pressing into. But once you've found this junction, you are right over teres minor. This is going to be a heavy compression. If somebody had a really acute injury, you wouldn't do this. But if they're like Josh and they just have an ongoing problem here, I'm going to take, in this case, my left knee, and I'm going to step up right into this junction. I'm going to start to feel my way around. And I'm going to ask Josh, how's that right there?
It's intense, but it's good.
Okay. He says it's intense, but it's good. I'm not leaning all of my body weight since I've got some of this balance here. If I need to, I can distribute weight through my hands as well. And I can also slightly change the angle, just like my knee would be an elbow. How's that right there, Josh?
It's good.
The compression here is deep enough that some people will get very light tingling in their hands and fingers. It's completely fine. If you're new to this, what I recommend is you try it. When the person gets a little tingly, you just back off and give them a rester for a second, just so that the receiver gets used to that sensation. You are doing a decompression. Part of the reason you wouldn't want to do this with somebody who had an extremely acute injury is you're putting pressure on nerves, you're putting pressure on the cardiovascular supply down the arm, and because it's such a big compression, it forms a bit of a tourniquet on that. So, again, just this big compression. If I wanted to use a forearm and elbow, I can. I just think this is more sharp, and frankly, it's a little bit more work. I have to use my own rotator cuff and shoulder blade, shoulder muscles to stabilize this. So I choose to go in the opposite way. And in this case, I'm actually going to switch it out. I'm going to try the opposite side and see how that feels to Josh. I can change the angle ever so much right into teres minor. Right there. How's that, Josh?
Oh, that's perfect.
You have to learn how to feel with your knees and feet. The towel gives Josh a little bit of cushion so that it's not so sharp and pointy. It's a big, broad amount of pressure. It's going to give him a lot of relief. It's a good way to start the process of working on teres minor. Big in-breath for me. And exhale. Felt the muscle unwind just a little bit. I'm going to have him do that a few more times. Big in-breath for me. And out the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. The mouth is a bigger pipe. It also gets them to relax their jaw. There we go. Going to back off slowly. I can hook into this area. Kind of feel with my fingers, see what's going on through there. Teres minor, you're also going to get a bit of latissimus dorsi. You're going to get a little bit of infraspinatus and a little bit of posterior deltoid doing that compression. That is the way that I would get started in softening this. I may do that 2 to 3 times, working in and around the shoulder blade, working around the rotator cuff to soften teres minor so that we can get in and do what we're about to show you in the second video on teres minor and trigger points. Don't forget to subscribe, yo!